Hello everyone, I'm Courtis Fuller and thanks for joining us today. We are going to talk about one of the most serious issues facing this community, really facing this entire country. You've been hearing a lot about it really the past year, and much of that has been because of the Marcus Faisal case, but the whole issue of adoption and foster care, and we have a lot to talk about today, so just sit back and relax and enjoy what we're about to tell you. This is good information for you. With me this morning is Larry Bergeron. He is the associate pastor for Hope Church up in Mason. And first of all, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Curtis. Thank you for having me.
I said this is one of those topics that all of us as a community we've been wrestling with, and clearly the Marcus Faisal case addressed this whole issue of adoption and foster care. But before we get to that, I want you to give a little background on Hope Church and how it connects to this particular area that we're going to discuss today.
Thanks, Curtis. Well, Hope Church is located in Mason, Ohio, and it's a growing suburb, and it's been there about 14 years or so, and great parcel of land right in the center of town, very family-oriented church, growing community of people there. And I believe the church is really concerned about not just being a place of worship and of faith, but one that truly leaves the community better than when we found it 14 years ago. And one way we can accomplish doing that is really making a better way for those children that are disadvantaged, dislocated, and disenfranchised in family homes. And that's a brand of Hope Church that we think is unique, and we're very serious in undertaking that challenge.
Just recently you had this fair. Talk a little bit about that. This was not the type of carnival that many people might think of when I say a fair, but talk a little bit about the fair that you had that focused on adoption and also foster care.
Thanks. Well, it was the second annual Hope for the Children Fair, which was conducted on Saturday, May 19th, and it addressed 4 channels of care, not in a typical adoption sense. Many adoption fairs really just address the adoption issue. This was 4 channels of care. Clearly, adoption is paramount, and I'll give you some information and reasons why. The second issue is foster care, and as you mentioned, due to the Marcus Faisal tragedy and other situations, we have a foster care problem that we need to address. Third is orphan care, and the fourth is humanitarian relief for the children of the world that are in poor situations, not only here in Cincinnati, the United States, but around the world, 4 corners of the globe. So it's adoption, orphan care, foster care, and humanitarian relief. The Hope for the Children Fair addressed those 4 channels of concern for children.
You had a great turnout, 500 plus people?
I believe that was the case, and it was very, very busy and very, very active this day. We really weren't sure what to expect, but really we were greatly encouraged with the turnout. Broad spectrum of people from all over the greater Cincinnati area.
You can be a name dropper and say that Anthony Munoz was there, because that's good to know that he's supporting it, and he does so much for this entire community, especially children.
He's a giant of a man in many ways, and he's got a huge heart for children. He was there, he greeted a lot of the exhibitors and the agencies that were represented and the people that were walking by, and the children just loved Anthony, and I know we all do, and he's just an awesome man.
Yeah. I'll ask you a little bit about your background, because you're not originally from Cincinnati. What brought you to Cincinnati, and what specifically got you connected to Hope Church?
Great question. I've been here 2 years. My accent may give it away, but I'm from New England and spent many years in Boston area, and was in my last church in Connecticut for 15 years. And we believe there was some effort going on in the heavenlies to move us here to Cincinnati, which we did about 2 years ago, my wife and my family, and we love it here. Hope Church is a great place. It's a growing community, and it's a wonderful church, great people. I comically tell people I work for my assistant. Her name is Neela Sweeney, and but I believe it was a lot of good reasons why we came, and we can see, especially with this Hope for the Children gathering, which has been growing over the past 2 years, that clearly something is going on of a significant nature, and it's just really proud to be a part of a church that really is committed to helping children in the community and worldwide.
We were talking before we started the show, and how part of this effort is to get more churches involved in this, while Hope Church is clearly taking a lead, taking the initiative to focus on this issue. you don't want this to be a single effort. You want other churches to be involved as well.
Absolutely, Curtis. And can I tell you why? I want to describe the size of the problem. And you'll see from the size of the problem why one church really can't be the solution provider. Around the world today, 143 million orphans are in the world. That's half the population of the United States. And that orphan population is only going to grow over the next many years as the AIDS and HIV crisis hits full impact, which is tragic. 143 million orphans in the world. Only 22,000 orphans in any given year are ever adopted, and that population of adoption is actually decreasing. That's less than 0.1%. And even if we grew that adoption rate by 1,000%, there's still tens of millions of orphans in the world that are dying. 143 million orphans. 500,000 kids in the foster care system in the United States, and of that 500,000, at any given time, 120,000 children are looking for forever homes, and they don't find them. That's tragic. Besides that, and in terms of those numbers, the state of Ohio has 20,000 kids in the foster care system, and there's not enough homes for those children, even here in the great city of Cincinnati. When we look worldwide, we see 30,000 children dying every day from preventable causes, from either lack of clean water, decent food, or basic medical care. 30,000 children. 2 years ago, when that terrible tsunami hit Southeast Asia, it wiped out 250,000 people, and the world responded with compassion and mercy and funds and supplies. We have a tsunami hitting every 8 days, and most people don't know about it. 30,000 children die a day. And so you look at the orphan population, adoptions are going down, a foster care system that is overburdened. We've got workers in job and family services across the state that, for the most part, I think these workers are pouring their heart and souls into trying to do the best for these children. And many times they're frustrated because there aren't adequate homes. Then when you look at 30,000 children dying a day from lack of food, water, and basic medical care, the magnitude of this problem says one church, one place of worship can't be the solution provider. It requires that we form a coalition of faith-based communities that come together, not with a solo aspect, not with it's all about me aspect, but together we can work on solving this problem. And Hope Church, I believe, where we're positioned, we're really looking and eager to become a coalition of faith-based ministries throughout Greater Cincinnati that come together to be a positive factor in resolving this problem. Wouldn't it be great, Curtis, if from now on, in a year from now or whatever, there was no foster care child in the Greater Cincinnati area that was waiting for an adoptive home, that every church got together and said, if there's a child, you let us know, we're taking that child and putting him into a loving home and family. That, to me, would put Cincinnati back on the map and provide a tremendous solution for these kids.
Well, that's a powerful statement. Actually, powerful numbers. I want people to just let those sort of sit there for a while as we take a break, because it's important to just think about those numbers and think about what would be a wonderful goal to not have kids in needing a home. All right, we're going to take a break. We will be right back.